Mostly greetings and how at your boy Prue. How you doing today? Quick update. Been away for a bit. I was trying to get something done. I was going to do a review on the Percy Jackson series because weekly update. I finished books 8, 9, which those are the last 2 books in the Percy Jackson series. I finished this graphic novel from the Sandman from book 10. That's what I've been reading for 2 weeks. I've been trying to throw together a Percy Jackson review. I really have. But I want to come clean. I don't think I can. I don't think I can do this Percy Jackson review. Because although I didn't hate the series, after watching the video before I uploaded it, it sounds super negative. I'm happy I finished my first series of the year. And it's Percy Jackson, so I've been reading these forever. Like, since they came out, my little brother, my wife's little brother Mason, was really into them. And he was really cool, and he let me have some of his books, and I read those. And it was a fun little story about your parents are Greek gods, and whatever Greek god you get some sort of power, and then you use those powers to fight evil. So it's like you get swords and axes and magic in your head. You're like, oh, that sounds badass. But it's written for like middle grade, not even, I would say below junior high. I would say, yeah, like that level. So after reading Dresden and like Drizzt and really dark, sexy stuff, I could not make that sound good, the Percy Jackson, because not a single person really dies, and not anyone like hooks up or into detail. And there's just, the violence is just toned and curved away, and it made it sound so awful as my hair looks right now, because it is not doing well in this weather. But you know what? We're just gonna put the hood up. The blue hood is up. The hood is up. Okay, good. I kind of look like a wizard. Wizard Josh says, don't read Percy Jackson if you're over the age of 16 and have written your minds twisted by Richard Lamont and Stephen King, because there's no clown gangbangs or giant people having sex with other people's appendages. No, none of that. No, we're leaving the hood up, though. I fucking hate the hair. But, so, how do I feel? I finished the book. I wrote it down. 4,300 pages total in this whole series. Almost 1,200 in the last 2 books alone. That's what I read last week. I read 1,200 pages last week. And in 10 days. In 10 days, I read 1,200 pages. It's 120 pages a day of fucking nothing happening. Now, if you're a kid and you're 12, you're interested in like the pizza or the kisses or the holding their hands. But as an adult, I was not. That is not adult fantasy. I have totally outgrown shit like that. But I was on book 8. 8 of 10. And they were audio. One of them was, no, book 8 was audio. Book 9 and 10 I had to read. And I was like, okay, I can do this. I can finish these books and just knock a series off. Oh my God, I read the shit out of that though. I just didn't enjoy it. I was like, this isn't terrible. Like, I'm making it sound like it's terrible. It was just written for way below my maturity level, or lack of maturity level. Like, the characters were fun and quirky. Like, one of my favorites is Nico, and he kind of comes out as LGBTQ stuff. And I'm like, that's awesome. He's dead, though, so technically whatever he does is necrophilia. And no one touches on this. And I was like, I feel like there'd be a joke. Like, in Harry Dresden's world, there'd be a sex joke with a dead guy, or a bestiality joke with a werewolf, and there'd be none of that in this. And I feel like even the violence was toned down. But I try to keep in my head, Josh, you're not reading this from the perspective of the intended audience. The intended audience is 12 to 13. You're almost triple that, motherfucker. So listen, give it a break. And I could not. And I did finish them. And I'm going to not rate them because it sounds horrible. But I would like everyone to know my feelings on the Percy Jackson series. So if you have a kid who's into fantasy, I recommend Drizzt first. I love Drizzt. Anything Drizzt is fucking amazing. But that's a little bit more complex, whatever. Percy Jackson, I still feel is better than Harry Potter. I really feel that way. Punching it in the face, Percy Jackson and Rick Riordan loves his audience. Every time I see him do an interview or anything, he's super cool, and he just has a way with like dealing with, I'm going to say, children and preteens that seems generally like he thanks them for reading, like, hey buddy, thank you for reading my series. And he just seems cool with it, and they're talking to him, and he's like, giving like hints, and it's not spoilers. He seems to genuinely appreciate his status given to him by his fans. When I saw J.K. Rowling, she does not. I don't know if I can't determine if I'm leave the hood on or not, so we're just going to not do it. But he generally seems to appreciate his fans and where his fans are doing for him and his family. They're buying his books. He's writing, and the stories aren't bad. They're just indeed very middle grade. The violence was curved. The sex was curved. I mean, I can't review these. I cannot review these in good conscience. But I can recommend them to if you're a child and you're on my channel, for first of all, the fuck are you doing here? You're going to get your poor little mind warped. You're going to be watching Sharknadoes. Looking at Linda Blair's Instagram page. No. But that's my weekly update and my rant on Percy Jackson. I finished books 8 and 9, and I didn't get a chance. Let's talk about Neil Gaiman's The Sandman. This was amazing. It's beautifully written and drawn. I love Neil Gaiman. Again, Neil Gaiman gets my level of weird. It's indeed Tim Burton meets Clive Barker. It's more toned down than Clive Barker, but a bit darker than Tim Burton. And that's a beautiful story, and it's amazing. I loved it. But that's it. I am on 10 books for the year. 10 books for the year. It's into January. This is where I wanted to be at. I wanted to hit 10 books this month. So thank you all for being with me on this journey for 10 books. Sorry I did not review Percy Jackson books that I finished. I just couldn't in good conscience say, oh, they're crap and I didn't like them, but I didn't like them because they're written for kids. I don't know if that's an effect of the author or that I'm above the maturity level of the intended audience. I don't know. But this has been your boy Prue. Stay creepy.